Hello friends. This is part 4 of the walk in Regent's Park, starting from the eastern side of Limehouse. I came to Angel because that's where I finished last time, very close by. I tried to pick up the exact spot by going back a little, but then I corrected myself and didn't see the need for such precision, so I simply decided to continue towards Camden, that is, to keep going west. Here I discovered that there was a tunnel, but without a sidewalk for pedestrians. I was surprised because I thought that from this point it was possible to continue, but the AI has already confirmed that it is not possible. So I had to go back the way I had come, go up the stairs and walk for about 10 minutes to get back on the path along the canal. So there wasn't much trouble. It didn't take me long to get back to the canal. This video was recorded 1 week after the previous one, on January 11th, 2026. I came with the idea of recording 3 videos that day, but in the end I only recorded 2. You'll understand why later. This is a park I found near that place. Here I was already arriving back at the canal, ready to head west. By the way, I made a mistake here. Some time ago I read that it was okay to give lettuce to these birds, but now I'm reading the opposite online. It seems that swans can eat it. But not just any kind of lettuce. Anyway, instead of removing this part of the video, I prefer to point it out so I can learn from this mistake and try not to repeat it, and explain it to others. Because many people give these animals breadcrumbs, and that's even worse. On the other hand, there are areas where feeding birds is prohibited. In the case of Regents, I didn't see any signs prohibiting it. In any case, it's something I'll look into and try to be careful about. Look at this. This is one of the things I love most about London. You're walking along a super peaceful place, with the canal, the boats, the buildings. And it feels like you're in another world. But you're actually just minutes from the city centre. Here, people live on boats. There are entire neighborhoods that revolve around the canal. It's a very different way of life, much more relaxed. These modern brick buildings blended with the old canal have a very special charm. This used to be an industrial area. Goods were transported by water here, and now it's a highly sought-after residential area. What I love about these areas is that they're not touristy. It's real London life. People strolling. Neighbors, silence, water, nature, and at the same time, city life. In winter, everything looks browner, more subdued, but it has its charm. In summer, it changes completely, green, full of people. Terraces, life. For me, these places are very underrated.
Change.
I did find it quite nuts, pressure for a driving.
As you can see, I continued giving them letters throughout the day, but remember the explanation I gave at the beginning. Here I am next to King Cross. I don't know if you can see it clearly in the background. That's what I was trying to focus on. remember that I also have accounts on other platforms like TikTok, where I usually upload shorter videos or other types of posts. If you prefer a different style.
Traumatized.
So right now I'm standing next to this old gas holder, also called a gasometer, and these massive structures were basically used to store town gas back in the day. Before natural gas pipelines existed, cities produced their own gas from coal and stored it in places like this. The frame you're seeing would hold a huge tank inside, and it would actually rise and fall depending on how much gas was stored. It was like a giant mechanical lung for the city. But today, these things are completely obsolete. Modern cities use underground pipelines and high-pressure storage systems, which are far more efficient, safer, and invisible. So these gas holders were shut down across the UK during the late 20th century. Now most of them are kept as industrial heritage, landmarks of the old London skyline, or even converted into modern apartments and public spaces. It's kind of wild to think that structures like this once powered the entire city, cooking, heating, lighting, and now they're just standing here as silent witnesses of another era. That tower you see in the background is actually an old water tower. Before modern water systems, London stored water up there so it could flow down by gravity to nearby buildings. It's no longer used for its original purpose, but it's been kept as part of the city's industrial heritage. I really like how London mixes these old structures with modern buildings. It feels like different centuries living together in the same place. In case you're wondering, I was just testing the stickers on some people's faces. But they don't stay on the faces, they just stick to a fixed point on the screen, so they're useless to me. Anyway, it's not a big deal. There's no need to cover faces. I was just exploring. Later on, maybe I'll use a better app than the one I have now.
Is that real leather?
Exactly. It's really good for the CD. But then also, I could also like to work. This is more like the dream is to work like in the future is to work in a venture one or like a.
especially because people do get hurt.
And we bumped you up on you.
Well, we're almost at the end of the video. Thanks for visiting my channel. I hope you'll come back again in the future. Feel free to leave your comment. Until next time.